What's going on YouTube? JT is Reborn here, and welcome back to another edition of my DC comic book reviews. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about Batman Urban Legends, issue number 21. Only a few more issues left. I think it's going to end at issue number 23 of Batman Urban Legends. And usually, there's some good stuff, and there's some stuff that's not so great. And sometimes you can get, it's kind of hit or miss sometimes, but it is an anthology book. So if one story doesn't work for you, then chances are maybe another one might work. So in this particular issue, we had 4 different stories. The first one was a story focused on Batman and a race car driver, or getaway driver, I should say, who could tap into the Speed Force, which is pretty fun and entertaining. The second one was a Renee Montoya focused storyline, which is more of a lecture than anything else once you actually get into the story. The third one is something called Arkham Academy, which is a little bit more interesting than what was going on in Teen Titans Academy. But basically the whole point of that one is the sidekicks or the next of kin with various DC supervillains are kind of forced into going to this correctional facility called Arkham Academy, where they're basically just kind of okay, we're going to put you through the ringer so you don't become criminals and ruin things for the next generation. And then the next one after that is the continuation of the story from last month, where at the end of that issue, Bruce Wayne ran back to Wayne Manor and his parents were seemingly back alive. And yes, and there was also some murders going around with various wealthy folks and that. So yeah, and then but we also got Dick and Damian in the issue too, so that's always a plus for me. But let's quickly summarize the couple issues. So this first issue right here, the Wheelman of Gotham, Anthony Falcone and Michael Cho. The artwork was really good. I thought the story was fun and engaging. It was visually quite interesting. The only issue I have with it is the ending feels kind of abrupt. Once we get the reveal of who the getaway driver is, and Batman's trying to keep up with them, but he can't in his car because this character is able to tap into the Speed Force. I feel like this is a tease for Two-Face, but it doesn't really go anywhere by the end of it. So maybe this thing's going to get continued in another story, because as it stands right now, it doesn't really go much, but it still was a fun read regardless. The second storyline is basically just a lecture. It has Renee Montoya in it. Batwoman shows up, but it got to a point where it's okay, yes, I get the social commentary that they're trying to tell with it. Police brutality, bad. The stop and frisk thing, bad. Police corruption, bad. There you go. That's the story in a nutshell. Renee Montoya had to deal with that, and now she's commissioner. She can kind of change things. So that's the story in a nutshell. Nothing all that interesting or unique about it. It just kind of felt like a bit of a lecture, just kind of sitting through it. So the artwork is pretty good though. So, but it's not anything that really annoyed me too much, but it just really wasn't anything all that special. It's just okay, yes, I get what you're trying to say. Okay, yep, bad. That is bad stuff. Gotham is corrupt. We know this. All that stuff is bad. There you go. So that's that. And then the third story is the Arkham Academy one, part 1. I think this is leading into a spin-off title book, but only time will tell if that's any good. First issue out the gate, I thought it was kind of okay. It does throw a lot of new characters at you. I think some of them may have appeared in other things, but it wasn't anything all that special. It has a more interesting concept than, what was it, Teen Titans Academy was the other one that kind of came out recently. But with the first story here, it didn't really do much to kind of grip or engage me, outside of the ending of it, where Killer Croc is kind of brought in to, teach everyone what it's like to be a supervillain. So as you can see, next, Scared Straight. Wasn't that a TV show? So there's definitely a connection in that regard. So that's kind of interesting. So it should be kind of fun, kids basically Scared Straight, but with supervillains. And then the final storyline, Bruce's parents are seemingly back, and you're kind of left in mystery about how they're able to come here. Damian and Dick appear in it, so that's always fun. Always a joy to see them working with Batman. This is obviously a story set more in the past, because as we know, Damian meets his grandfather, who was it City of Bane or whatever it is. So there's that. But it turns out that these actually are Bruce's real parents. There's a character known as, the Time Commander, who for whatever reason brought them back into the present day. There's a good moment between Damian and his grandparents where he's very protective of his father, and he's just okay, cut the crap. I know there's something up with you two, but turns out that this actually is his real life grandparents, as we come to find out, based on the fact that they were brought here from a different time. Why they were and what the reasoning is behind it, I don't know. But yeah, his parents are back from right before instead of getting killed at Crime Alley, now they're in the present time. So that could lead to some very interesting stuff. So, and then that's kind of where the issue ends with them discovering the Batcave. But that's part 2 of 4. I think this will actually be the final story in Urban Legends. So if that's going to be the final one, I'm curious to see how the story is going to kind of go out, hopefully on a high note. So yeah, Batman Urban Legends issue number 21. First storyline was very entertaining. Just had a little bit of an abrupt ending, which wasn't fun. The Renee Montoya one felt like I was sitting through a lecture, and nothing all that interesting came about with it. Yeah, I get Gotham has corruption and all that stuff. It's stuff that's been done a ton of times. But this time it's Montoya who's just kind of stood by the side and is like, I watched this all kind of happen. Okay, yeah, I get it. Third storyline, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see if it gets any better with the next issue. But the first kind of part of it didn't really wow me to this whole Arkham Academy concept. And then the fourth one was also pretty good for the most part. Just seeing how Bruce's parents are back and like this whole Time Commander thing leaves things to be kind of interesting. So we'll see how it all turns out. I am excited to see how it all comes to an end, because we're almost done with Batman Urban Legends. This has been kind of a fun series to cover. At the same time, I feel like it probably should have ended a long time ago, but there's been some entertaining stuff which I will remember, and it's going to be kind of strange once I finish like talking about this series in general. So take it for what it's worth. But anyways, if you have any thoughts on Batman Urban Legends issue number 21, let me know in the comment section down below. Be sure to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the YouTube channel for more content, hit the bell for notifications. And that is going to do it for my DC comic book reviews for this week. I will see you all next time, and as always, take care now. Bye bye then, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.